Hello, soulmates. Welcome back to class. Welcome to the Honest Academy. Okay, if you are a new person, please consider subscribing. And if you're an old timer here, thank you for coming back to watch our videos. So, in this video, we're going to be looking at how to draft or cut a 720 flay, 1080 flay, that's 1080, and 1440 degree flay. Okay, please, I would encourage you to watch the video on how we got the 360 down to 90-degree flay in our previous video. But I'm going to run through the 360 again because on top of this, every other flay rather comes into play. Okay, so talking about the 360, we have a circle, and we said that to get the radius for a circumference, you need to divide your circumference by 6.28. And don't ask yourself, how do I get this 6.28? 6.28 is just constant. It is constant. You don't have to start calculating it afresh. If you calculate it afresh, you're still going to come back to 6.28. So like I said before in the previous videos, just have it at the back of your mind that if you need a 360-degree flay, you're dividing your circumference by 6.28, and whatever it gives you becomes your radius. Hope that is clear. So that's it for a 360-degree flay. 360. Now, talking about a 720 degree, we're going to get it from this 360-degree flay. It's quite simple if you understand the logic. Now, 360 plus 360 is going to give us 720. So we need double of this flay. We need double of it. And we also need the circumference to just size us perfectly well. So what are we going to do? We're going to divide our circumference into two and use it to create a 360 flay into two. So let's assume our circumference is 13. We're going to be dividing 13 by 2. And 13 divided by 2 will give us 6.5, right? 6.5 inches. So what that means that we're going to use 6.5 to create a 360-degree flay, use another 6.5 to create another 360-degree flay, and then we'll put the two flays together to get a 720-degree flay. I hope this is quite clear. It is quite easy. My circumference is 13. Divide the circumference into 2. I have 6.5. So I'm using 6.5 to create a 360-degree flay. In that case, that would be 6.5 divided by 6.28. And whatever it gives me, I use it to create this flay. I'll take the next 6.5 divided by 6.28 and use it to create another flay. Then after cutting, I'll put the two together and I have 720 flay. That is easy, right? Yes. Now talking about 1080-degree flay, that is 360 times 3 will give us 1080. So what does that mean? I know you have the answer already. I will divide my circumference into 3 and use each part to create a 360-degree flay. 1, create another one, 2, create another one, 3, and I will put the 3 together to form a 1080-degree flay. That is quite easy, and that's why you need to understand 360-degree flay, because upon this circle every other thing comes into play. Now talking about 1440, that is 360 into 4 places. So how do you do that? Divide your circumference into 4 and use each part to create a 360-degree, 360, 360 into 4, and then put everything together. You have as volume as possible. You have much volume, 360 into 4, and that will give you 1440 degree flare. So hoping that that is quite clear, I'm going to bring out my paper and show you how to fold. Once you know how to fold your 360-degree flare and do your calculation, every other thing is simple. The joining is just normal joining, and that's all. Please do well to watch the previous video on how to draft 360, 270, 180 and 90. You're going to have a very clear insight on how to go about this. So we're beginning with 720 flay, and like I said, we're using the waist of 13, and we're dividing 13 into 2, which is 6.5. We're going to use this 6.5 to cut two 360-degree flay and put them together. Okay, so this is what we're going to do. This is our paper, or it could be our fabric. First of all, we're going to put them together on fold like this, and don't forget to get to know the amount of fabric that you need to put on fold. Of course, if you're using 6 yards, you're not going to put the whole lot of 6 yards on fold. What you're going to do is, once you get the radius of what you're working with, here we're working with 6.5, and we're dividing 6.5 by 6.28. So once you get the answer, you add the length of your flay to it. Let's assume we're working with the length of 5. So our answer plus 5 will give us the amount of flay that we need to put on fold this way, making it into 4 places. I hope you understand. So now 6.5 divided by 6.28 is going to give us 1.1. Then plus the length of our skirts, and that will give us 6.1, right? So the amount of fabric we need is going to be 6.1. So my paper is on fold. This is 1, this is 2, making it 4 pieces, right? Making it 4 pieces. So I'm going to measure 1.1 right round. 1.1, and you connect the lines together. Now from here, since we already know the length we're working with, 6.1, you measure the length. Don't forget to add your sewing allowance. At the hem this way, don't forget to add your sewing allowance. And because we're going to be joining two flays together, don't forget to add joining allowance also. And if you need zipper, please don't forget to add your zipper allowance. When you're done adding all of this, you can then start dividing so as to be on the safe side. If I want to have zipper here, I'm going to add my zipper allowance, add my sewing allowance, and then divide everything into 2 at once. I hope that is clear. So we're going to connect the lines like this. Please do well to subscribe and love this video. Now at this point, I'm going to come up a bit by one quarter, so that here does not become too wide for my measurement. Okay, it is a standard, a rule that you come up. If you're using your fabric, you can come up by ½ inch, so that you don't run at a very wide case, or at most you can do 1/4 of an inch, since the measurement is divided into 2. You come up by 1/4 of an inch, not to have excess. It's better not to have excess than to have excess, because if you have excess, there's little or nothing you can do about it. And if you choose to cut it out, you're reducing the size of the flake. So it's better to have shortage at this point. If it's not up to the circumference, you can still recut it while you have excuse me, What you have allowance are these hem parts to help you out. I hope that is clear. Circumference, I'm going to use this to cut another circumference. So here there is no need of making another calculation. It's still the same thing that you're going to cut. So just place it, fold your paper and place it and use it to cut another one, and then join the two together. So I'm going to cut another one using this same measurement. And don't forget to subscribe to this channel. So we have two flays now, and we're going to cut them open. So this is what we have, and from one side we're going to join the two together. That's why I said add your sewing allowance, so that you will not have any shortage. You're joining to this part, and look at the volume of clay that we have. So I want to use gum and hold here together. So you can see the amount of clay that we have here, 720-degree clay. I'm going to wear it on the mannequin so that you see what it looks like. Can you see that? Look at how beautiful it is. 720, 360 flake put together. So let's go over to 1080, and it's going to be bigger than this. Okay, so let's continue to 1080-degree flay. Now our waist is 13. What we're going to do is 13 divide by 3. Okay, divide by 3, and that is going to give us 4.2. That is 4 1/4 here, right? 4 1/4. And what you're going to do is to divide 4 1/4 by 6.28, and we have 0.668, and by approximation here we're using 3/4 of an inch, right? We're using 3/4 of an inch. That's the sixth line on the tape, 3/4 of an inch. So 3/4 of an inch plus our length, which is 5, and that will give us 5 3/4. So as usual, our paper is folded into 4, and here we're going to measure 5 3/4. That is the length. You can now add your allowance below. So we are marking 5 3/4 round. So this is what we have. As usual, I reduced it this time by 1 line. You can leave this as this and use it as your sewing allowance, but if you just want to be on the safe side, you can reduce it and cut and add your normal sewing allowance. So I'm going to cut this and use it to cut the others into 3 places. And remember, we're cutting 1080-degree flay. And please, if you've not subscribed, please do well to do so. So we're going to fold paper again and place this on top to cut the remaining 2. So this is what we have here, the 3 of them. I'm going to cut and put them together as usual. Cut this open, cut this open, and cut this open. Then I'm going to join it together. I will use gum and hold them together. So after putting this together, you're only going to imagine what this will be like when I wear it on the mannequin. Like, what is it going to be like? Let's go and see. Can you see that? That is 1080-degree flay. Now imagine what 1440 is going to look like. This is so fantastic. I just love it. Wow. Now, I would advise you to stay to the end of this video so that you see what will make your plate to stand up like this, right? If you use only your fabric, it might not stand very well. So you need to see what you are going to add to your plate to make it that wow look. All right, give it the wow look. Now we're going over to 1440. And what do we do? I'm expecting someone to answer it. I'm expecting to see your practical on this because I know you already know what you're going to do. So what is it that we're about to do? Our waist is still 30 and we're cutting 1440, and that is 360 times 4. So in this case, we're going to divide 360 into 4 places, and whatever we get, we divide it by 6.28. 6.28 is just constant. You're not going to add anything to it, and you're not removing anything from it, no matter the amount of calculation you do. So we divide waist by 4 times divide again by 6.28. Divide your waist into 4. Use your answer to divide 6.28, and then use the answer to cut your 360 flay into 4 places, and that's what we're going to do right now. So 13 divided by 4, we have 3.2. 3.2 divided by 6.28, and that will give us um the fifth line, 5/8, the fifth line on the tape. Okay, let's use this as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is 5/8. I hope you can see it. 5/8 on your tape, the fifth line on the tape. That is what we are doing, using to get our calculation, our radius. And now 5/8 plus our length, which is 5, it's going to give us 5.5, right? Like 5.58, not just 5.5, 5.58. I guess you know how to read your tape very well. So you still have to reduce the size. You still have to come up by either one line or half line. Yeah, I'm going to come up by one line. Okay, and this is what we're going to cut into 4 places. Remember, this paper is on fold, so when you open it, you're going to have this into 4, and you're going to use this to cut additional 3 to make it 4. So here we have 4 pieces. This is it. Why are you not opening? Okay, don't mind what is written on this paper. They are just stacks of different pieces of papers, right? Now I don't intend to sew this, and that's why I'm using all of these pieces together. I only want to show you how to cut this and possibly what you will add to your plate to make it stand properly. So as usual, what we're going to do is to cut this open and join all of them together from one edge to another. We are cutting them open. So when I'm done opening and joining it, we're going to see it on the mannequin, and you can just guess what it's going to be like. Woo. Now this is what we have after joining it together, and we're going to wear it on the mannequin to see what it looks like. Now it's not a magic that your flay will just flay like that, especially when you're using a fabric that is not strong. Okay, if you're using a fabric that is not strong, it's not going to be that um beautiful, like it's not going to give you that bouncy look. So you can use these two materials to give it the effect that you need. This is crinoline. It has different sizes from half inch, 1 inch, 2 inches, 3 inches, um, I think up to 5 inches, right? This is how many inches here? This is 2 inches. So you can just put this at the hem of your peplum. You can sew it at the, I'm going to show you how to sew it, but not in this video, maybe in another video. I'm going to show you how to sew this to your flame. This will give it a bouncy look. And then if you need it to stand properly, like stand very well, this is peplum stay. It's more like a collar stay, but it's not the strongest kind of collar stay. I don't encourage you using the very hard collar stay. It will be too stiff. But this is going to make it look nice and dangle very well. This is collar stay. So when you get to the market, ask the sellers. I think almost all of them knows what collar stay is. You can see you can actually fold it, but it's quite strong. It's not like paper stay that you can easily tear. So use this, gum it to the wrong side of your fabric, and cover it with lining. When you finish sewing, it's going to look so beautiful like my nails, right? Okay, so let's look at the mannequin.